Today we unravel the mystery of the miracle of multiplication. Jesus feeds thousands with bread and fish. Imagine a day near the Sea of Galilee where thousands gathered to listen to Jesus under the high sun, casting long shadows across the land. The air buzzed with anticipation as people from various walks of life congregated, their hearts filled with reverence and curiosity. In the midst of this gathering, Jesus, with a tranquil countenance, was imparting his teachings. As the day wore on, a pressing issue began to surface. The multitude had journeyed far and wide, and their stomachs were beginning to echo with hunger. The disciples, concerned, approached Jesus. How could they possibly feed such an enormous crowd with the limited provisions they had? The disciples collectively felt the weight of the daunting task. 5 loaves of bread and 2 small fish seemed meager even for a handful, let alone thousands. Their resources were undeniably insufficient. Yet an air of expectancy lingered, for they were in the presence of a man known for miraculous deeds. From the disciples' perspective, the situation appeared insurmountable. They were in a remote place, far from any town where food could be bought. The hour was late and the crowd grew restless. The disciples perceived only the problem, a lack of food and a surplus of hungry people. However, Jesus saw an opportunity to showcase the boundless nature of God's provision and impart a lesson that would echo through the ages. As the disciples grappled with the issue, Jesus, with a serene smile, calmly instructed them to bring the bread and fish to him. There was a quiet confidence in his voice, a reassuring assurance that dissolved their anxieties. Puzzled, the disciples obeyed, their faith in Jesus unwavering. Little did they know they were about to witness a miracle. With just 5 loaves and 2 fish, Jesus looked up to heaven, gave thanks, and broke the loaves. In this moment of divine intervention, Jesus took what seemed like a scant supply of food, enough only for a single meal, and prepared to feed thousands. His hands moved with a purpose, breaking the bread, dividing the fish, his gaze fixed heavenwards. The crowd watched, their anticipation a palpable force as the air seemed to vibrate with the energy of the impending miracle. The disciples, those closest to Jesus, were astounded. They had walked beside him, listened to his teachings, and witnessed his acts of kindness and love. Yet the magnitude of what was about to occur surpassed their comprehension. Under Jesus' touch, the 5 loaves and 2 fish multiplied instantly, an explosion of abundance where there had been scarcity. Imagine the astonishment rippling through the crowd, the gasps of disbelief, the wide-eyed wonder as the baskets began to overflow. The bread was still warm, the fish freshly cooked, and there was more than enough for everyone. The hunger that had been gnawing at their bellies was soon to be replaced with satisfaction, their need met with abundance. This was no ordinary feast, but a banquet born of a miracle, a divine intervention transcending the laws of nature and human understanding. It was a testament to the profound love and compassion of Jesus, a demonstration of his divine authority. He turned the impossible into the possible, scarcity into abundance, hunger into satisfaction. The miracle wasn't just in the multiplication of loaves and fish. It resounded with a message to those present and generations to come. With faith there's always enough, and with Jesus there's always abundance. And then something extraordinary happened. Not only was everyone fed, but 12 baskets full of leftovers were gathered. Can you imagine that? From a mere 5 loaves and 2 fish, thousands were fed, and yet there was more to spare. This is no ordinary feat. It was a miracle that defied the very laws of nature, a profound demonstration of the infinite power of Jesus. In the aftermath of the miracle, one could only imagine the awe that swept through the crowd. People must have looked at each other, their bellies full, their hearts overflowing with gratitude, their minds grappling to comprehend the extraordinary event they had just witnessed. This was not a mere trick or illusion, but a tangible reality. They had tasted the bread, they had savored the fish, they had filled their stomachs, and yet there was an abundance left over. The scale of this miracle was staggering. It was not just about feeding the hungry, it was about demonstrating the boundless capacity of divine love and power. The crowd that day witnessed a miracle that transcended the physical realm, one that touched the very core of their belief and understanding. They had come seeking sustenance and left with their faith nourished. Imagine the stories they must have shared with their families, friends, and neighbors. The tale of the miracle would have spread far and wide, touching the hearts of many, inspiring faith and devotion. The impact of this miracle rippled through time, continuing to inspire and uplift souls even today. Let's not forget the 12 baskets of leftovers. This was not a case of just enough, it was a case of more than enough. A testament to the fact that when divine providence is at play, there is always abundance. This was not just about meeting needs, it was about exceeding expectations. So you see, the aftermath of the miracle was not just about the satisfaction of physical hunger, it was about the kindling of spiritual hunger, a craving for the divine, a yearning for the miraculous. This was not just a miracle of multiplication, but also a testament of divine providence. What can we learn from this astonishing miracle? In this tale of divine intervention, we unearth several profound lessons that resonate even today. At the heart of the miracle of multiplication, we find themes of faith, divine provision, and the limitless nature of God's miracles. The miracle teaches about faith, the unswerving kind that doesn't falter in seemingly insurmountable odds. The disciples could have doubted, seen only scarcity, but they trusted Jesus. This faith in his power and promise led to a miracle that fed thousands, a beacon for us to trust God's promises. Next, we discover a lesson about divine provision. Jesus took the little that was available, blessed it, and multiplied it to provide for everyone present. This act of miraculous provision speaks volumes about God's nature. It shows us that God is not constrained by our earthly limitations. Where we see scarcity, God sees abundance. Where we see impossibility, God sees opportunity. It reminds us that God is our provider, capable of meeting our needs in ways that defy human comprehension. Moreover, this miracle highlights the limitless nature of God's miracles. Jesus didn't just multiply the loaves and fish to meet the need, he multiplied them to the point of overflow. 12 baskets of leftovers were collected after everyone had eaten their fill, symbolizing God's overabundant provision. It's a powerful reminder that God's miracles are not meager or minimal. They are abundant, overflowing, and beyond our wildest imaginations. Finally, the miracle of multiplication teaches us about the power of compassion and service. Jesus, moved by compassion, chose to serve the people by meeting their immediate need for food. This act of service underscores the importance of caring for the physical needs of others, even as we attend to their spiritual needs. Indeed, the miracle of multiplication serves as a timeless reminder of God's infinite love and provision. It beckons us to trust in God's promises, to rely on his provision, and to anticipate miracles that overflow with abundance. And it challenges us to emulate Jesus' compassion by serving those around us. These lessons, drawn from a single miracle, have the power to transform our understanding of God and our interaction with the world. The miracle of multiplication is more than just a story. It's a testament to the boundless compassion and power of Jesus. As we conclude our journey into this remarkable tale, it's evident that this miracle holds profound significance. It is not merely about the multiplication of loaves and fish, but a powerful symbol of divine provision, amplifying our understanding of faith. The miracle serves as a beacon illuminating that with Jesus, scarcity becomes abundance. It affirms his divine authority, his ability to defy natural laws, and his commitment to provide. It's an affirmation of his divine authority, his ability to defy the natural laws, and his unwavering commitment to provide for those in need. This story teaches us that even in times of scarcity, we can trust in God's provision. In the grand spectrum of life, it encourages us to view our trials and tribulations through the lens of faith, to trust in the divine plan, even when the odds seem stacked against us. As we ponder upon this miracle, let it inspire us to have unwavering faith in the boundless grace of God.